Namaste everyone. This is Shiv Patil, your computer science teacher from Appa Public School. As you all know that because of COVID-19 pandemic, instead of taking physical classes, we shifted to virtual classes, that is live classes. Now this is a time to start virtual class for computer science too. I hope you all safe at home. By assuming this, we will start the session. In this session, we will discuss introduction to DBMS of grade 8 from KIPS publication. The main objective of this session is to know about the fundamentals of database management system and improve myself by taking valuable feedbacks from you. Before going to discuss about DBMS, we will discuss some of the technical terms which are widely used in DBMS. They are data, information and database. The first one is data. Data is nothing but collection of raw facts or raw figures. We can call data as a set of raw facts or raw figures. Let us take a general example. Suppose I want to construct a building. For constructing a building, I need some materials like cement, bricks, water, steel. These are the elements I need for constructing a building. These are called as data. In a similar ways, if you want to get something from the computer, it needs some raw materials. Those materials are called as data. Is it clear? The next is data has no meaning in its raw form. When we process on it, it will get its meaning. That desired meaning is called as information, right? After processing the data, it will get its meaning. That meaning is called as information. We can call information in many ways. The first one is information is a processed and organized data. We can call information as a processed and organized data. Information is a systematic and meaningful form of data. And one more is there, the knowledge which is acquired through study or experience is called as information. This is about data and information. Next one is database. Database is a place where the data is stored. Right? If you want to store your personal data, if you want to locate your data, we need a space. That space is called as database. We can call database as a repository of data. And one more definition for database is an organized collection of information that can easily be accessed, managed and updated. The overall purpose of database is to record and maintain information that is relevant to the particular organization. Some of the examples of database are student database, telephone directory, a list of library books. Let's take an example of APS database. APS database is a database which contains complete information about the teaching staff, non-teaching staff, the principal and the management team. Now this is a pictorial representation of a database. This is about database. Now we will discuss about DBMS. The full form of DBMS is Database Management System. The name itself says that it's a system, it's a software which allows us to manage the database. If you want to manage the database, we are using a software system called as DBMS, that is Database Management System. The software which is used to create and manage database is called as Database Management System. And one more is DBMS is a collection of programs that enables one or more users to create, manage and retrieve information from a database. The another definition of DBMS is DBMS can act as an interface between the user and application program. In this example, suppose if user wants to interact with the database, he can use a best software called as DBMS. In what way he wants to interact? He wants to add data to the database, he wants to retrieve the data from the database, he wants to modify the data, which is present in a database. For doing these kind of operations, he can use a best software called as DBMS. Some of the examples of DBMS software are MS Access, that we will discuss in upcoming classes, MySQL, Oracle and DBase. These are the various examples of DBMS software. The next concept is advantages of DBMS. In that, first advantage is to reduce data repetition. A DBMS helps in controlling duplication of data. The data stored in one location can be accessible to all the application. This reduces both cost and space. That means if you want to store same data again and again in a table, the DBMS doesn't allow this. That means it doesn't allow to store the duplication of data. This we called as to reduce data repetition. Next one is integrity can be improved. The data is stored in one location can be accessible to all the users at a time. Hence, integrity can be improved. The next one is data security. The data which is stored in the database can be secured by the DBMS. Right? That means if you want to access others' data, the DBMS doesn't allow. Right? The next concept is backup and recovery management. If you lose the data by accidentally or by disk crash, that data can be recovered by using DBMS, right? This is about backup and recovery management. The next one is data sorting. The data which is stored in the DBMS can be arranged in a systematic order, either maybe in ascending or descending order. That is we called as data sorting. The next one is data retrieving. A DBMS helps us to retrieve the data whenever necessary. Is it clear? This is about data retrieving. The concept we are going to discuss is types of database. Database can be broadly classified into two types. They are flat file database and one more is relational database. The first one is flat file database. Flat file database is a relatively simple database which stores all the data in a single table. In this example, all the data which is related to student is stored in a single table. The best example for flat file database is MS Excel, that is Microsoft Excel. The next type of database is relational database. Relational database is a database. It's a type of database which stores data in a multiple or several tables. In a database, the data is stored in a multiple tables. That kind of database is called as relational database. In this example, we have three tables. First one is student table, second one is course table, and third one is grade table. In all these three tables, the data is related to student only. Whenever we need, we can access records from these multiple tables. This is we called as relational database. The best example for relational database is Microsoft Access, Oracle, DB2, MySQL. These are the various examples for relational database. This is about types of database. The next concept is components of DBMS. In DBMS, components can be classified into four categories. They are tables, queries, forms and reports. The first one is tables. Usually in database, the data is stored in a tabular format. The data which is stored in the form of rows and columns is called as table. Elements of a table are fields, records and data items. All the columns in a table are called as fields. The rows in a table are referred as records. The set of characters which represents a valid value is known as data items. Here this is a student table. In this table we have four columns. Columns are referred as fields. The names given to the fields are referred as field names. Here we have 5 rows. The rows are referred as records. The set of characters which represents a valid value is known as data items. Next component of DBMS is queries. As the name suggests that queries means questions. The statement or set of statements which are used to ask questions from the database are called as queries. That means if you want to retrieve the particular information from the table, for doing that we are using a statement or set of statements. They are referred as queries. The next concept is forms. Forms are used to enter data to the tables. Forms are the interfaces which allows us to enter data to the table. The next and last component of DBMS is reports. Reports are used to display the selected data in a printable format. If you want to display the data in a printable format, we are using a component called as report. Reports collect the summarized data from one or more tables. This is about components of DBMS. This is about brief overview of components of DBMS. We will discuss more about these components in upcoming classes. The last concept of this lesson is relationships. Usually in database you store data in multiple tables which are related to one another. Relationships are used to establish the link from one table to another table. If you want to retrieve the data from the multiple tables, for doing that we are using a concept called as relationships. This is about introduction to DBMS. Thank you for watching.